Thank you very much for inviting me to Copenhagen and this Sedermera seminarium about new investments. I'm Pehr-Johan Fager, as you perhaps heard before, and I'm the CEO of Zoomability AB. It was a long time since I was in Copenhagen, actually, more than 20 years, I think. But before that, I was plenty of times in Copenhagen, this lovely city. And I actually lived in this hotel as well. I recognized it when I came here. I had forgot it totally before. Today's two completely different companies you should listen to. Scandia Oncology and Zoomability has some common thing, though. We have a mission to help people to a better life. And you will hear more about that in a short while about Zoomability. As you see here, it's a vehicle. It's a four-wheel drive electric all-terrain vehicle. And it's developed, produced in Sweden. We have a vision and the slogan, a free mind in motion. Everyone should have the capability to go out in the forest, off the pavement, and enjoy the nature. It's the environmentally friendly way to get access to the world for disabled people or anyone else that would like to have a fun and pleasant ride. It's not only for disabled people, actually. It's also for anyone that would like to get into the forest or off the pavement. Here you have some short points about Zoomability International AB, or Zoomability Int AB. It was actually founded a company called Zoomability AB 2011 already. And it was 3 entrepreneurs with the intention to make an electrical chair that could help these disabled people come out into the nature. It was because one of the guys there was his wife became ill and was often out in the nature, but had not the possibility anymore. So he was a constructor and he developed this prototype already in 2005. But the company, it was founded in 2011. And the product was named the Zoom Uphill because it goes up. And it goes down as well, but mostly upwards. Better than anything else. And it was based on a patented chassis. I will come back to that later on. Since the start of the company, it has been sold more than 700 units of Zoom Uphill all around the world and in 15 different countries. Most of Zooms are bought in US and to US veterans, actually. And we have had a subsidiary there in US since 2015. But the change was made in 2017 when a company was founded called Zoomability Int AB. And they bought all the shares from Zoomability AB. And that was a holding company, Zoomability Int. And that company is now on the way to be listed on the Spotlight stock market in Stockholm, July 29. At the same time, we have an IPO that I will come back to later on as well. But first, some pictures here. You can see the Zoom in action. And it enables people with limited mobility to experience the life without limitations and go beyond the pavement. You can even see that it's used for hunting. This camouflaged guy here is a former US officer, and he had a Zoom now, and he can go out and do what he did before, go out and hunting. You can go on snow, you can go on pavement, you can go on grass, you can go everywhere with the Zoom, actually. So why is Zoom so good then? Well, first, it's a light and a strong vehicle, and a very small footprint, actually. And therefore, it's easy to transport. You can put it in a pickup car very easily. It's also a permanent four-wheel drive with superior off-road capabilities because of that. 4 different hub motors you have there, 1 for each of the wheels. And people that drives it sees that it's fast and fun, and it's actually enhanced the self-esteem for those people that buy one. The low center of gravity that the Zoom has compared to other electrical wheelchairs, for instance, make it very stable and secure and that's why it can go into the terrain as well. And of course, it's electrical powered. So it's close to nature in all respects. You sit low, you see the flowers, see the grass, and it's no emission of carbon dioxide. So, some specifications. I also mentioned before, permanent symmetrical four-wheel drive, hub motors, steel frame, aluminum wheels. The maximum speed of the Zoom we have set it to 20 kilometers an hour because that's the limitation we have in Sweden for this kind of vehicles. Actually, the Zoom can be programmed to go 40, 50, 60. But that's a little bit dangerous. So I will not recommend that. And we do not sell that kind of vehicle. We have a limitation of 20 kilometers. But we also have a speed selector. So you can go 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, or 20 for each Zoom. So you can decide for yourself how fast you will go, the maximum speed. Because if you go the maximum speed, 20 kilometers an hour, you have an acceleration of 0 to 20 kilometers in less than 2 seconds. So it says just zoom when you hit the throttle. So the range for this on one loading is two lithium batteries in it, and it goes about up to 40 kilometers. So it's not too bad. Some hours. And charging time is then about a couple of hours, and the weight is here, 100 kilos. Here is a picture of one of the users. It's a Swiss guy called Matthias Fries, just 10 years of age. And you see his statement on the left there. Neither with the electrical wheelchair nor with other wheelchair I can go out in the forest or go to the beach. That is stupid. Since I have got the Zoom, I can go over hill and dale again and also drive on the beach. That is great. He's a free mind in motion, in other words. So we give freedom to people that not have that possibility. This is another guy that has a Zoom. He's a Spanish guy, a former Kawasaki driver that had an accident in 2012 and broke his neck. So he's had a spinal cord injury, but he was still able to move his arms and so on, but not from the chest downwards. He's now promoting this Zoom in Spain, and he has an initiative called Never Give Up. We have other celebrities that has shown an interest in the Zoom, as you can see here. I'm sure you can recognize our king and queen in Sweden, Carl Gustaf and Silvia. And also our landshövding, Ingemar Skogö, stands between Silvia there. And you have one of the founders, Mr. Sunderland, co-founder of Zoomability, sitting there, and one of our happy customers. So, a little bit about the financial history about the Zoom then. Development last 5 years. And you see that the development in revenue has not been that great since 2014 for some reasons. I will not go into that. But it was a lot of changes going on between 2015 and 2016. But then the Zoomability Int AB was founded in 2016, the holding company, and we have seen a change now. And I took over this company 2018, and we've been even better now, as you can see. Not that much loss and higher revenue. But I have actually been involved in this company since the beginning, from the outside in a way. And I was also an investor in the first round of investment that they had, 2012. So this is the company structure right now. And you see that I'm the CEO of the Zoomability Int, but I'm also CEO of Zoomability AB and Zoomability Inc. So I have 3 positions in the company. So it's a very lean organization. Not many people are working there. We have a controller. We have people at AB, product manager, will be hired soon, and we have a service and support guy. Just before, we had a consultant in the product manager position. And then we have the American organization, 3 people, the vice president, sales and marketing, and 2 in service and support and logistics. But we cover a big area of the world, as you can see. The mother company owns Zoomability AB to 100%, and Zoomability AB have distributors or resellers in these countries you see down there. Most in Europe, as you can see, but also in Australia. And they are doing very good, especially during 2018. In US, we have one rather big and new reseller called Upward Mobility. They take care of northeast of US. But then we have direct contact to our main customers, and that is the charity funds that you have in the US. You have quite many that buy Zooms and hand them out to the veterans. Indie Fund is the biggest one of them, and they have bought about more than 200 Zooms, actually. And they give them away to the people that have been to the Vietnam War, to Afghanistan, actually. That's been wounded. Mostly they have got the legs cut off. Oops, sorry. A little bit too fast. This is a Zoom world, more or less. You see, we have North America, we have in Canada, we have one in Puerto Rico, we have in many countries in Europe, but also in Australia and New Zealand, as I mentioned before. So, but what is the primary market for Zoom Uphill then? Well, first of all, it's people confined to a wheelchair, right now anyway, though I stated that the Zoom can be used by anyone, actually. And I met a guy actually last Friday that came to me and said he needed a couple of new batteries because his batteries had run out. And he was not disabled at all. I said, why have you bought a Zoom? Well, it's just such a fantastic and fun product, he said. He came back to me on Monday with the batteries I lent to him, and he said, the weekend was fantastic. Everyone enjoyed the Zoom, he said. So it's good for many people. But the primary market, as you can see, is people confined to a wheelchair. And in Sweden, we have about 130,000 people in a wheelchair. In Europe, in total, we have about 5 million, and in US, it should be 3.6 there. I don't know what the 3.6 went away, but it should be 3.6 million people with a wheelchair in US. And you see also the different kind of impairments they have: spinal cord injuries, multiple sclerosis, amputees, and 135,000 war veterans has been injured as well. So that is our main market. Then if you look at other figures from market research institutes, for instance, if you look at electrical wheelchairs, you see the market for electrical wheelchairs was about $1.5 billion 2015. But it's a very, very big growth in that market right now. So you see 2022, it's about $4.8 billion. And we are aiming for that market. I mean, we cannot, you will see at the competitors in a short while, but we are definitely determined to take a part of that market. That's a big market. So, what are the competitors? Actually, if you look at off-road vehicles or electrical powered vehicles, you have powered wheelchairs. That is the main market. You also have all-terrain vehicles, ATVs. But we have, what we say, we have a crossover between ATVs and PWCs. So we take the best of both and take it into the forest. There are not that many on the market of these crossovers, but here you have a couple of them. On the left-hand side there, up to the left, it's the X8 Extreme from Pehr-Mobil. So Pehr-Mobil is one of our biggest competitors. It can go off-road, but it's a little bit different from the Zoom. Then you have in US Freedom 6x6. You have Action Track Share and Track Fab Share. Those bandwagons, more or less. And they are quite popular, actually, among the veterans. They like to sit in a bandwagon or a tank, whatever. I don't think you could drive that in the streets and so on as you can do with the Zoom, but still, they are quite popular. Then down on the left-hand side, you have a type of Segway platform where they have put a chair on top instead of standing on it. And we had 3-4 different models of that in the world, but no one has really sold anything. And this one on the left-hand side, they went bankrupt a couple of years ago, actually. I show this anyway because there are other ones similar. Then we have one terrain hopper there, rather big one. So that's about the competitors. I don't know about their patents, by the way, but I know about our patents, and they are quite strong. On the left-hand side, you have the patent that have the divided frame to give traction to all 4 wheels in the rough terrain. And that is used in the present Zoom uphill. And if you look at that, you can see that the wheels here are not symmetrical. This is forward, this is a little bit back. And that is part of this. So it can climb more or less over different obstacles. Then we have another interesting patent, but we have no product yet. That is a stair climber. That can actually go up 4 stairs in a special way. And we had a collaboration with Toyota, actually 2011. And they produced a prototype. So we have a prototype of this. But that collaboration was ceased because Toyota got other bigger problems at that point of time. I think it was about 7 million cars they had to recall because of a small problem. And they cut everything in development and focused all their efforts onto these recalls, unfortunately. But this is something that in the future perhaps can be something. We also have a lot of trademarks. Zoom Camp. And Zoom Camp is actually a place where we have Zooms for rent, for people to go and into the different tracks into the nature, in mountain areas, for instance. They're planning to do that in Poland right now, in Sweden, in different places as well. And we have one in Åland. Then we have some uphill, the name of the vehicle, Free Mind in Motion, and the Zoom as such. And we also have design patent on the vehicle in this Europe, US, and Japan. And speaking about Japan, we have no business there right now, but perhaps we will have it in the future. So right now we are seeking money. We should be listed on the Spotlight stock market as well. So you can subscribe for shares, and you have that on the prospect you have there, or the small brochure as well, more about this. But you can subscribe between July 20, should be June 24th there, and July 8th. Small mistake. But the right numbers is in the memorandum. Pre-money value, we go for 800,000 shares, 10 kronor each. But this IPO that we do together with this introduction with the shares on the stock exchange is actually guaranteed to 100% already. So we will get these 8 million, we know that. But still, you can subscribe for shares if you like, because it will be taken off this garantiåtaganden in that case. So you have a privilege to buy shares anyway. And the post-money evaluation. So why should you then buy shares in Zoomability? And there's a mixture there of Swedish and English, I can see. Three reasons. First of all, we know that the product has very, very good market acceptance. And we have those more than 700 there already in the different markets. We have this IP portfolio that makes it a product that no one can really copy in that way in Europe or US. And also it makes the possibility for us to develop a range of different Zooms in the future with the same patent as a base for this. A racer, or go very fast, or a smaller one for children, you don't know. I don't know, but perhaps we can do different things. But just now we're focusing on the Zoom uphill. But perhaps one of the reasons is also the smile on our customers' lips. It's actually amazing to see when you deliver a Zoom to a customer. They sit in it, start to drive it, and they come back and they are really, really happy. It's something extraordinary for them. And that's one of the reasons as well, if you would like to help people that has a problem to get out into the nature. We do it with the Zoom. This is some more summary of the offer we have right now in Swedish, as you can see. And you can read it also in the short memorandum, if you like. So, that's it right now. Thank you very much for listening.